light on the opening combination batting? I mean, we look at this lineup and it's not quite clear as to, I mean, Vijay is one of the openers we have. And can you tell us about the opening? Because throughout, if you see, CSK has always had a good opening combination. Can you tell us about what would be your opening combinations this season?
Look, if I'm honest, we're not sure yet. It depends on the combination, the overall combination we decide on, based on our first game's conditions. But we've got a number of players, Faf du Plessis, fresh off 100, Sam Billings can open, Shane Watson, of course, can open, Shore can open, VJ can open, Raidu can open. So we've got a number of options that have been penciled down. I'm going no further than just saying we've got a lot of options that we can put in.
So you don't have a second specialist opener this one?
I've got 6 of them. We've got 6 of them that I've talked about that can do it.
Yeah, but they're basically middle order batsmen who can open. Like Watson, of course, is open, but if we're talking about Raidu and all, they're basically middle order batsmen.
Well, they've played in the middle order. It doesn't mean that they can't open and may be better suited for opening, but certainly Shore is a top order batsman. Sam Billings has played a lot of top order stuff as well as middle order. We've got, I think one of the key things with our squad, and we've said it all the way through, is versatility and players that can adapt and play different roles. So that certainly right from the top is about considering the combination, which is not just best for opening, but for the rest of the side as well, whether it's our overseas combinations or Indians.
Fleming, you had Albie Morkel, Ashish Nehra and Dub bowling at the first, but who could give you wickets, and it could be vital breakthroughs and also bowl quick. I mean, the current lot you have, who do you think will fill in those slots? It was very crucial. You can see in the matches, whom do you think can fill in those gap slots?
Well, Wood's got some good pace, and Geedy's got some good pace. Shane Watson is a very savvy new ball bowler. We have a raft of young players. Shardul is obviously of Indian quality. Chahar was the highest wicket taker in T20 domestic cricket. And we've got 4 young players who we're having a good look at. So we've got some options there. There's also the option of using spin as well. And spin, as you'll know, looking at our side, is quite a strong component.
So for India, you see a lot of wrist spinners are doing well, and finger spinners aren't doing that kind of thing. As a coach, you believe finger spinners will call the shots here. How do you fancy Pudgy's chances?
Well, I've always rated him very highly, so I'm excited to have him in the side. I'm excited to have him bowling here. I think if you're playing half your games at Wangidi, it's very tough bowling here. And the bounce and the top spin that he gets, I think this ground is much more suited for his style. And he's fit and motivated and has some good friends within this side already. And I think he'll play a big part for us, yeah.
You, sir.
First things, any news on the replacement for Mitchell Santner? And could you just elaborate on why you picked a second left-arm spinner when you had Jadeja and you had Tahir and Karan Sharma and Harbhajan? And also, when are the other foreign recruits arriving, like Faf and Luki?
When Faf finally declares, he can maybe come over. He may be still batting. He has, great. Oh, hopefully a couple of days then. Mitch Santner is a talented player who was rated highly by management in MS. Jadeja was injured at the time as well, so we were just a little bit wary of having left arm cover. And again, we looked at versatile players, and Santner's, before his injury, is one of the form players going around. So it just gave us options, and that's why it's not just 1 year, it's 3 years as well that we're looking at. So having that type of quality player is important to us and will be important. What was the other part of the question?
No, the replacements that
replacement. Well, there was almost a luxury position, so we haven't rushed it. We want to spend the almost a pre-tournament camp just getting a feel for how the squad looks, and just be a little bit smarter about if we need a replacement. It's not probably a necessity straight away, but if we see there's a weakness or a different style of player that we want.
Like to go a couple of games and then take
maybe not that long, or maybe longer. If things go well, then there'll be no rush. But it's nice to have that option there. If we had an injury to Jadeja or one of the other players, is right at this point in time, there's no need to rush that decision. So we're looking at some of the players that we weren't sure about, that we've seen limited amount about. So we just want to get a better feel for our squad, and then we'll make that call.
How is Jadeja's injury?
He's pretty good.
You.
Yeah.
Dhoni.
Yeah.
Yesterday we saw in that match simulation, Shardul Thakur bowled most of his overs in the depth in the last 3-4 overs.
Right.
And, he wasn't able to properly execute this thing. And Deepak Chahar got caught around by Suresh Raina in the power play. So do you think the Indian pace bowlers, especially Shardul Thakur, Deepak Chahar, do you think they'll be more about what can we expect from them going forward? Is it like the same that happened in the match simulation? Do you see Shardul as the with his knuckle balls and variation? Do you see him Shardul as the one of the go-to bowlers in death overs?
Yeah, I do. He's done it for India, and he's been with me in Pune for 2 years developing. And I think he's got some real talent. The challenge for those two players is to find the consistency of performance. And yesterday, where a training game, often you don't get up as much as you do for a real match. We saw a drop in standards. So it was good learning, and that's part of a practice game, is just understanding where your players are at. So good observation, and yep, they'll be working hard today in the next few days.
Yeah, well, so would you go in with Mark Wood as a fast bowler? Is there a chance that he could maybe with his extra pace and he can be nippy with his bouncers?
Yep, that's why he's picked for. And Ngidi, we think they both have qualities that can fit into the side. Ngidi bowled very well against India and South Africa, and we see the style of bowling that he has could be well suited for the plans that we've got. And Mark Wood has just got a nice skiddy trajectory which offers something challenging and a lot of pace. Keep in mind, we've tried to read our conditions as well as we can, and also have options for when we play in different conditions, starting with Wankiti, which might be a bit challenging. So we think we've got, through our overseas, we've got good options covered.
We've spoken about the middle order, of course, and just to take that forward, has there been any discussions with MS regarding where he preferred to bat in that order, because there are a few options? And in that sense, where does Bajji figure in? Because he's critical as the all-rounder that you're keen to play.
Yep. MS will be relatively high. It's not necessarily a position with him, but a time that we may choose depending on what conditions we see. But he will definitely play a more prominent role as a batter. And the hitters that we've picked, Kadir out of Raidu, as you say, can play in the middle. Jadeja, Bravo. Harbhajan fits in there as well, Khan Sharma. They can all hit. So again, looking at our side, there's a lot of multi-skilled players, and whilst you don't diminish the main skill, there's a lot of options that we can use.
And Bajji as a batsman particularly, because we saw him training and giving that a lot of focus.
Yeah.
Rajiv, how important is that aspect for you guys?
Well, some part of the philosophy in picking our team is that players that have hurt us in the past, why don't we get them into our side? And Bajji's played some good innings against the teams that I've been involved in. He's been very annoying. So hopefully we can sort of recreate that form. He even batted up the order, I think, one game as well. He had played in IPL pretty well. But look, that's not his main threat. It'll be a bonus. We should be able to get it done with the 7 or 8 batsmen ahead of him. But it's just nice when you look at an order like that, if you've got 8, 9 and 10 that can bat decent, it can be giving confidence to the above, but also when you're looking at and planning on paper, it can be quite a daunting effect.
You, sir. You only.
Hi, Stephen.
Hey.
So, a lot of teams are following the yo-yo test for this IPL, and so I just want to know whether CSK is planning to start anything or already started on the yo-yo test with the players. Am I already tested?
The yo-yo test? The fitness test?
Yeah.
No.
Any particular reason behind, or has it been any word from BCCI to start that or something like that?
No. It's very much the personal fitness. We've got enough to do without having to control the players' fitness. If they're not professional enough to stay fit and do what they need to do, then maybe we've picked the wrong players. So that's not a focus of the side. There's so much other stuff to get right, and roles and skill sets, that it's very much their own department. We've got Greg King from South Africa, who's an outstanding trainer, and the facilities that we use are top drawer. But all we ask for is a continuation of their professionalism. We don't try and up the ante or drop it down. They won't spit out of this competition overweight and slow, put it that way, but it won't be a main focus.
First game in marketing.
Yes.
Would you go with the extra spinner, or would you go with the extra fast bowler?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. It depends on conditions, and we get there. We have 3 days there, and look, we haven't got all our players. We have to wait until the New Zealand test finishes, South African test, and just see what shape that the rest of the squad turn up in. There might be a chance that they turn up jaded, and we may have to make a change. So there's a lot of things to happen in the next 3 or 4 days before we settle.
You, last question.
Flem,
Yeah.
In the past, CSK are back after 2 years. In the past, a lot of people, even the Prince players would start lining up for press conferences and before the leadership tournament. But this season, Kasi sir himself said right at the start on March 20 that you guys shouldn't disturb the team during the sessions. We will
Did he?
So, so is there a conscious effort, because there are a lot of Prince players there, K.M. Asif, Monu Kumar, Chaitanya Krishna, a lot of them are not known names in Chennai. Is there a particular, what makes you, like, what was the decision behind not sending players for press conference 10 days in the lead-up tournament? Was there a conscious effort to let them be focused on the action itself?
Answer that.
Huh?
Answer that. It's nothing. We are posting it on our website. You're getting answers there. You are carrying the stories as well. So that was the idea. Yeah, nothing
One
else.
more. Any
One
more?
last question, anyone? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks.
Brother.